It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything.
In his Ohio hometown, Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance tried to tell a joke.
I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but
amidst the silence,
it's good.
Vance tried to save face.
I love you guys.
But the awkwardness soon went viral, and now the ridicule has arrived.
Please clap. Please clap. Please.
What happened there?
I don't know, but
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
that is not Rich Little or even Rich Little by Rich Little standards. I was
not Henny Youngman.
It's not. It's more Henny Youngman. Take my wife, please.
Take my Mountain Dew.
Take my Mountain Dew. Like, I don't know. Maybe he should just read the script.
Okay. Like this?
Like
Republican presidential. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance making his first solo appearance on the campaign trail yesterday.
That's right. It was Vance's first appearance on the vice presidential campaign trail. Talk about a faceplant. And the Vance effort at a joke wasn't even the worst thing that happened at his rally. Republican State Senator George Lang was one of the opening acts for Vance, and Lang kicked things off with an alarming rant about a potential Trump loss.
I believe wholeheartedly Donald Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country, and it will be saved. It's the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. And if we come down to a civil war, I'm glad we got people like Schmitty and the Bikers for Trump on our side.
The Bikers for Trump are on the MAGA side of a civil war. Well, that reminds me of a video from a guy who actually tells funny jokes, unlike J.D. Vance. Comedian Neal Brennan does a stand-up routine where he envisions an armed showdown between MAGA faithful and the U.S. government's military.
Say 100 members of the NRA versus, 2 members of the military. Broadcasted on Fox, Christmas Day. Like, Merry Christmas and welcome to the 2022 NRA Military Showdown. Let's go down to the field of battle, meet one of our NRA combatants. Sir, what's your name? What kind of weapon do you work with? And he's like, my name's Andy Baker, and I got an AR-15, wearing Kevlar head to toe. Andy, how confident are you, scale of 1 to 10? A million. We're going to check in with the military real quick, and they cut to one guy by himself in a bunker, and he's like, my name's Staff Sergeant Jeremiah Walker. And they're like, Jeremiah, what kind of weapon do you work with? And he's like, look, I don't know if this is fair, but I'm working with a drone. Yeah, it's equipped with 8 Hellfire missiles and a high-powered camera. As you can see on this monitor here, the NRA fellas are actually in just one big cluster. So I'm gonna. We started, all right. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit this button right here. Yeah, now they're all dead. That'll do it for this year's NRA Military Showdown.
Neal Brennan, follow him on social media if you don't already. He is hilarious. And his laugh out loud scenario makes an important point. MAGA world, including the warm-up backs for J.D. Vance, seem to love threatening a civil war, but they don't appear to be thinking the conflict through. And even a few Donald Trump supporters who were interviewed recently by TYT say talk of a civil war is really stupid.
I'm in the Army. I don't want that. I don't want civil war.
Are you active duty?
I'm National Guard, but I'm going deployment this November of this year. And I don't want civil war. People is talking about war and things like that. People who don't know nothing about it. This is something that should never happen. I hope it never happen, because civil war or any type of war is a horrible thing. A lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are going to suffer. I don't even want to think about this, this type of thing, because civil war is a big word. It's a big word. It's better not even use it. But people is using it like for nothing. But I'm telling you, it's people who don't know nothing about war, about what it is, suffering, this type of things.
People who talk about war don't know anything about what it means, he said. And people like J.D. Vance, who diminish racism by joking about Mountain Dew, also don't know what they are talking about. And by the way, Republicans are not exactly the party that embraces everybody. Never mind the policy crusades against LGBTQ+, or the bashing of Latino migrants. Trump rally officials recently underscored that even people who dress goth and promote the goth lifestyle are not welcome.
On the list, right?
I have 2 tickets, actually.
And then they kicked you out?
Well, at first they said it was because my shirt was against Trump. And I said, okay, if you have a shirt for me, I'll change. I'll do it. I don't really care. And then they were like, well, go over here. And they kind of shuffled me around.
Who was it that did that?
A bunch of, guys with Trump shirts. I don't really know.
In other words, Make America Goth Again was not very funny to the Trump authorities. Perhaps that woman would have had better luck at the MAGA rally if she had been drinking a Mountain Dew. Right, JD? By the way, J.D. Vance's rally performance in his hometown was so abysmal that even Fox News pulled out of live coverage soon after Vance's failed joke. Yes, even Fox knows that Vance is not very funny or compelling, even to many Republicans. By the way, Donald Trump and his MAGA colleagues are now going berserk, given that Kamala Harris is opening fire.
They held a primary. People, they had ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths.
On Fox News, Trump advisor Stephen Miller went berserk.
They spent money on advertisements. And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden.
If the other side is freaking out and going crazy, you've got them where you want them.
Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the entire primary.
And it isn't just Miller who is melting down. Donald Trump is also flipping out.
Most people say that over the last month, he's been more serene than usual since the trial. He's been a little calmer than usual. But the one thing that got to him was the idea that he might not be running against Biden.
True Social, quote, "So we are forced to spend time and money on fighting crooked Joe Biden. He polls badly after having a terrible debate and quits the race. Now we have to start all over again." Ditto from House Speaker Mike Johnson.
I do think it's problematic. I think millions of the American people believe that this is problematic. This is not the way the system is supposed to work. There's a reason it's unprecedented. You don't just, steamroll the rules and the process because you decide that your candidate is no longer suitable. That's what's happened here. I think everybody can see it for themselves.
But now you're hearing Mike Johnson, you're hearing all these other people just freaking, oh, this is illegal. You can't do that. You're like, what? You can't decide at a convention who your nominee is going to be?
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Stink Cabbage, who wrote, "The audacity of Republicans screaming about oligarchies and corporate control of politics is beyond parody." I hear you. I look forward to reading your comments about J.D. Vance's epic faceplant over Mountain Dew. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.